John?
Yeah, Bob, good evening. You know, Michelle Cuffey had parked her car in this driveway Saturday afternoon. She was walking slowly into her house. She walks with a cane, and that's when she said she saw the two suspects running toward her from that direction. I want to show you something. I want to show you how close the homeless camp is under the I-110 bridge. Follow me now to some neighborhoods. Take a look behind me, literally just 50 yards. Mr. Haynes, John Rupolo, Channel 3 News. Do you have any comment about today's court proceedings? Do you have any comment? Would you like to offer an apology to the Rogers family? We asked Gates for his response to the women's group press conference. What is your direct response to that group, that women's group?
Well, you're talking about allegations that have been debunked.
Talk specifically about this incident.
All right.
You're holding a press conference, and I think that a question was asked, and I think it deserves an answer. Why did Mr. Hayes shoot the donkey?
And what will their role be specifically, Governor?
So I think some of those remain to be determined.
And Channel 3's John Rupolo first broke this story last month.
Yes, so good evening. You know, Matthew Banks, a no-show at today's hearing. Officials say no big surprise there.
You know, Fred made landfall here at about 2:30 this afternoon. We're actually about 40 miles from the eye of the storm. Yeah, there we go with the winds, right? We're experiencing 50 to 60 mile per hour winds right now. First tonight, a somber day of remembrance, honoring the life and service of a Baldwin County Sheriff's deputy. Our community is paying their final respects, thanking him for his service. The funeral service for Deputy Smith just wrapping up in Robertsdale. There was a confirmed tornado in Okaloosa County, but we're still waiting to see if there was one in Alabama. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Rupolo. We'll bring you more of that damage shortly, but first, Joseph Neubauer joins us from the Weather Center. Scenes from London, England earlier today. Queen Elizabeth II died today. She was 96 years old. Representatives for the royal family made the announcement around 12:30 local time. And it's Super Bowl Sunday. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Rupolo. Of course, Rams taking on the Bengals in Super Bowl 56. Now, here's a live look at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Should be a great game, right? Former Lions quarterback Matt Stafford.
Do you think the city should be doing more to help the homeless problem?
For some, this is indeed a place of hope.
From inside the campsite, Channel 3 News investigates.
This story continues to unravel over the past several hours. Initially, we were told that that teacher struck that 13-year-old boy right here behind me at Bellevue Middle on January the 12th.
Channel 3's John Rupolo spoke with some of them today about the charges and their next course of action. John?
Yeah, good evening from Crestview. Right behind me here in Crestview, the Ridgewood Apartments. That's where Calvin Wilkes had that incident with those Crestview police officers. But in the last hour, we are hearing directly from the family. And another mass shooting in Philadelphia left the exact same damage as the one in Tennessee, with 3 dead, 11 injured. Police say several shooters fired into a crowd. Okay, my good friend and yours, Alan Strum. And, you know, I was telling you earlier, Alan, you know, I grew up in the Northeast, and I have these childhood memories of snow coming down at Thanksgiving. But that's not going to happen here in Florida.
It is not going to happen here, John. I tell you what.
Just love that story. As the Blue Angels celebrate Labor Day in Cleveland, one of their pilots is also celebrating. And people in Jackson, Mississippi will have to continue to use bottled water indefinitely. John Rupolo, Channel 3 News. Are you aware that there's license plate reader cameras at that intersection?
No, I was not.
Most people don't even notice them. This is a license plate reader placed at an intersection in Escambia County. One was used, according to this Pensacola police report, to track the car of murder suspect Giles Jones, who police say killed his roommate LaTanya Baxter earlier this month. We wanted to know more about those license plate readers. Who installs them? What agencies monitor them? And how many are in Northwest Florida? Pensacola police said, "We don't have any in the city, so I can't talk about them." We also reached out to Florida DOT about license plate readers and never heard back. This is John Rupolo from Channel 3 News. We called the Escambia County Sheriff's Office. They said no comment. And FDLE didn't have any answers, only saying in a statement, FDLE does not oversee or manage license plate readers or their placement. But according to a report from a news outlet in Fort Myers, FDLE gave a $100,000 grant to install 6 license plate readers in southwest Florida 2 months ago. We put a call into State Senator Doug Broxson. He says license plate readers are not allowed on state highways, at least for now.
FDOT has taken the position that they cannot have a license reader that records any information in Florida. Now, that's not true of the counties. We know that several counties are using them.
Broxson says the Florida Sheriff's Association is pursuing legislation that would allow license plate readers on state roadways. And public opinion was mixed.
I guess it would be good. I mean, yes, if they're looking for somebody, they'd be able to track them down.
That kind of invades our privacy, so why would they have it at an intersection?
2 weeks ago, Matthew Banks was arrested for failing to refund one homeowner, but he's accused of taking money from dozens of people and failing to finish or even start the work. Homeowner Mark Haberly filed a complaint with Pensacola police. He says he gave Banks almost $7,000 to fix his roof months ago. And this is that roof Thursday. Banks never started the job. According to the arrest warrant, Banks said he didn't have the deposit money anymore. After Banks was arrested, dozens of other homeowners contacted us. They said they filed similar complaints with the Escambia County and Santa Rosa County Sheriff's offices. They want to know why Banks isn't facing charges for their complaints.
Did he ever start the job?
No, he did not.
Nikki Grant said she paid Banks over $56,000 for an addition on her home in January. She says she hasn't seen him since. She filed a complaint with the Escambia County Sheriff's Office.
I'd like to know why he hasn't been arrested for my case and many other cases, because there is so many victims.
We asked Pensacola police that exact question.
We are going to consult with the Department of Agriculture, we already have, and if we can get everything into one area and prosecute this all at once.
We also asked the Escambia County Sheriff's Office why they weren't filing charges against Banks after receiving dozens of reports from alleged victims. They said this. The Sheriff's Office met with the Department of Agriculture in reference to Matt Banks. They requested we refer anyone that was involved to them due to their case. And we also reached out to the state attorney's office, asking if they were investigating Banks. They said those complaints remain under investigation, and the office of the state attorney is working with the Department of Agriculture to reconcile these complaints. We once again reached out to Banks for comment, but we never heard back. This is 26-year-old Nathan Donlinger after he was arrested by Escambia County deputies in the parking lot of Globe Paddle on Pensacola Beach early Thursday morning. He was caught on surveillance camera ransacking the business, causing over $10,000 in damage. While we were there Thursday afternoon, Donlinger called the business to apologize after he bonded out of jail.
I am sincerely sorry about the damage I've done to your property.
And we asked him the obvious question. Can I ask you also why you did this?
Nothing personal. Just going through hard times and was under the influence of alcohol, of course, and blacked out.
Donlinger's rampage began inside the business's office trailer before 3 a.m. Thursday morning.
He completely dumped all of this over it.
Anything he saw, he destroyed, according to the co-owner, Matt Powell. Powell took this cell phone video Thursday morning of the parking lot. Everything that was in the office trailer was on the ground, damaged or destroyed.
He took everything in the shack and threw it out the door.
He knocked over the porta potty and tried to break into the trailer. Powell says he also urinated on a batch of Glow Paddle shirts. Surveillance video then shows Donlinger walking to the dock. He somehow got a hold of a raft underneath, and he apparently stole some Glow Paddle swag.
He's wearing a Glow Paddle crew jacket and one of our lifeguard hats.
And back to that phone call Donlinger made to apologize. He said he left his cell phone at the crime scene and wanted it back.
He said, how do I get my phone? And he kind of laughed and said, maybe this will get you more business.
And a short time later, Donlinger's grandfather arrived to get that lost cell phone back for his grandson.
And we're just not going to let this kind of thing win, and we are open tonight.